So it seems it's always a mistake for me to end these with, well, I'm going to go do more. Um, I really should just keep digging in with the camera rolling because, I always expect, well, I'm going to dig in, I'm going to accomplish a lot of things, and there's not much more to talk about. And then I dig in and I find, well, maybe I was wrong about that. So just a quick follow-up addendum to the last stream that I just ended a few minutes ago. I just wanted to look at my phone quickly because the cool thing about this receiver is it's kind of easy to get into it without having to completely take it apart because the turntable lifts up and that gives you access to much of the inside of it, and the cassette deck lifts up and gives you much easy access to the 8-track. As you can see, it's just these 4 connectors that hold the cassette deck in, and the cassette deck is just 4 screws. So 4 screws, 4 connectors, boom, there's your 8-track, there's where your belt is. So easy belt replacement. Getting the turntable out of here basically is you got a little plastic piece here that comes out and gives you access to the flip screw, so you can flip that. And you see this one's got a notch here, so don't even have to flip that. So you flip that, pull that up, and that one slides out. And then it's just a left, right, and a Molex connector. And there you go. So like I said, a dead channel in the power amp has me thinking transistor. And when I take a look at this, I noticed immediately that there is this chip here that's just called stereo amplifier. And I do have the service manual for this, and so I do have some specs for this chip, and I think I have voltage readings I'm supposed to be able to read on the different legs on this chip. And I did that on one of the other Fisher receivers, because one of these has a bad power amp and one of these doesn't. And the one that has a dead channel, I took voltage readings of that chip, and the voltage readings came back in the right range, I thought. So I thought to myself, well, I don't think it's, but then again, that's that one. This is this one. I haven't checked the readings on this. And I don't know if this is all the amplification or if that's power amplification and there's preamplification. But then again, preamplification is probably done by each component. As I mentioned on my 4010 streams, I found that the schematic for the 8-track board for this model didn't line up with the 8-track board on that model. And heck, I could just see, well, for one thing, this receiver is deeper than the 4010s. And so this receiver puts the 8-track board behind the 8-track on its side, whereas the 4010s has a board upright to the left side of it over here. Yeah, so this board's different. But then again, I'm not having a problem with this board. So that leaves me looking at this board here, which is connecting to this stereo amplifier chip. And this board only has one transistor. And so I'm thinking that's not a transistor of amplification or in a channel path, because anything that's a channel path, there would be 2 of. This seems to be more power supply based stuff. The power's coming off the transformer here, coming into here. And so I'm guessing the power amplification is really just being done on this chip. So process of elimination says to me, it has to be this chip that's bad. Of course, I'd hate to go to the trouble of taking this apart, desoldering all these pins, taking this chip off, taking the chip out of the one working amplifier, putting it in here, soldering it in place, and still having the same problem. Not to mention, does that mean that these chips just are inherently going bad as they age? Is there a modern equivalent to this chip? Because, like I said, 3 out of 4 of these receivers that I've had or have had a dead channel in it. So that means I have one good chip, possibly. And for how long is that good? So I don't know. Dilemma. I mean, I just don't even know what I really want to do with this. And like I said, I'm kind of the mindset of fixing up the turntable on this and using this as a line out into my home theater. So even if I could fix this up, with a good chip. Do I want to put my good chip in there? You know, and that's one of those things. That's the problem with nostalgia, is that you try to find a practical alignment with your impractical nostalgia. Do I want to have just one of these fixed up that works, even though I'm not even using the power amp of it? So anyways, yeah, so that's where I am on this. I really don't know. I did not find transistors in here like I expected. Now, mind you, like there are transistors on the preamp boards of things, but those are working. I mean, my 8-track works on the line level out. And this board is the AM/FM tuner. I'm tuning an AM/FM fine, so I don't need to worry about that. And I mean, there might be some preamp stuff over on this board here where all the volume and balance controls are, but that's not easily accessible. So yeah, actually, I do have transistors in there. So I might, I don't know. I might, you know what? I might have to just take this apart. And the problem is that board's not easy to access, because then you got all the like lights and everything above it, even if you do take it out of the thing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's that I have one of the sides of this chip is dead, or if buried in there on my preamp board that's connected to all the volume and bass treble knobs. Because yeah, that wouldn't be line level stuff, because what's coming out the line output that works is not altered by the volume and bass and treble knobs. So yeah, this stuff on this board under here is going to the speaker but not going to the line output. So that would be a logical place to troubleshoot. Anyways, that's my little update. I tore this apart. I was expecting to look for transistors over here, but I didn't. This is just power supply stuff and an amplifier chip. I should probably review what my voltage readings off the pins of these are, and confirm that that's reading okay. And then I think the next thing I need to do is take this out of its case and find a way to get to the transistors that are on this board here and start taking some measurements off of that. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll post more updates as I do more of that. Once again, I'll be on the Dune and Johnny show on twitch.tv/5hitDune tomorrow, 6 8 Eastern. So I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about this then, among other things, and maybe Dune will have some Twitch finds. So I think I'm finally ready to wrap this up for today. And have a great rest of your weekend.